Hello friends, this is Pet Friend Presents, presenting pet-friendly advice from your pet friends. This is Friend. I'm Hanake Kua. It's a pleasure to be with you all this evening. We are closing in on the new moon. Such an auspicious time to cultivate those intentions, bringing them closer to your heart. So that's what we're here to do, offering pet-friendly advice through our love languages of tarot and diet and lifestyle. I am a non-vet pet dietitian. I work at a holistic veterinarian clinic, which the views that I'm showcasing here are in no reflection of the organization that I work for. But it really is an honor and a gift to be with you today. And so thank you all to my beloved ones who have been waiting ever so patiently for this video. Oh, did you all see that yawn? That is a stress yawn. So I'm sorry, friend. Let's put you down. Thank you for the guest appearance. Friend is laying down here by my legs. Very sweet. Such a wonderful companion she is. So I invite you all to just take a breath with me right now. Breath with me. And take it in through the mouth and out through the mouth without any pauses in between. Let's do that 3 times. This beautiful breath of life. So thank you all for spending your precious time with me today. Time is of the essence. Time is also relative and kind of a constraint in a lot of ways, but I really value the time that you're spending here with me and the time that you want to devote to your beloved companion. So thank you for doing that today. And so there's a couple of topics that I would love to go over, primarily because as of late, I've been going through some physical ailments that are still happening. And so I've been placing my focus, on myself, selfishly and selflessly, so that I can be of a more clear service to you all. I think that authenticity is the most wonderful currency, and I'm not here to pull a fast one on you all or paraphrase what is yours. And so I want to be clear of any confusion or delusion that I'm going through in my own personal life. And so it's been a hot minute. We've had the summer solstice thus far. How was your summer solstice? Are you riding on the intentions that you had from there? What kind of fires have you been stoking as of late? Have you felt an uprise in energy? Have you, where are you at? I'd love to hear from you, whether it's in the comments or hit me up via Instagram. So, but one of the topics that has been so beneficial to me as I'm going through this period of, I would say like it's been pretty tumultuous, and so I appreciate all of you that's in my know, that is showing up, and I love you so much. So thank you. But here I am for y'all, and yeah, I feel as if meditating with our pets is one of those beautiful ways that we can find communion, find a way to communicate with one another and meet in the middle in this beautiful relationship, this beautiful union that we share with one another, with our pet companions. And so as a member of our family, I think that in any family, active means of communication is an absolute necessity. It's very high on our pillars of importance, and something that is constantly in flux and something we're constantly working on. And so in regards to our pets, what means do we have to connect with them? Well, we can go with training. That's always a beautiful way to bond. We can go on activities and have adventures together. Of course, being a dog, being a real human that isn't constrained to time. That's all really, really important. But I do feel as if sitting down, observing the natural pace of time with one another, and as Friend sits here with me, as my bunny lays and enjoys this presence as well, I feel as if in that stillness that I get some beautiful information from them. And so I would love to just be able to offer you all a kind of short and sweet way of being able to make yourself a clear conduit and clearing any forms of stagnation that you find within your pipes, and clearing out your pipes, your intuitive pipes, your clairvoyant your clairvoyant channels. And when you open up your heart and your mind in that way to your pets, that authenticity flows forth. And that is truly an instinctual element that they pick up on so beautifully. And so authenticity is the correct currency with communication for our beloved companions. And so this is a technique from Bhante Viramsey. It's called the TWIM technique. And the first meditation that I learned from Bhante V was a forgiveness meditation. And so it's actually something that I have practiced a lot with Friend. And especially when I brought her home, she was quite fearful and nervous and showing us little signs such as, a stress yawn or placing her little paw up. That is a fear signal. The tip of her tail will start to wag, and that shows nervousness or not being completely sure of oneself. And so giving her a lot of space to be herself, while also learning how to forgive myself for wanting to control the situation by fixing it when there's nothing to be fixed. And actually we can start from there, is that relationship with ourselves, forgiving ourselves for not understanding the situation at hand and as it is in front of us. Especially when it came to Friend, my desire for her to be a dog that was wonderful in all environments, easy to train, and that kind of pressure must have been a lot for a 10-week-old, 12-week-old, 6-month-old puppy, going to classes and being very extroverted, and seeing that she wasn't thriving in those situations, even though she's very obedient and very intelligent, wasn't providing that for her in particular. So enough about our life per se, but how that meditation actually did help us was coming into one's heart space and doing this every day with your pet, even if it's 5 minutes, makes an enormous difference. And so coming into yourself and focusing here in the heart space, and almost as if the idea here is that in a room of darkness, in a room of delusion, you are a candle. You're not visualizing a candle, you're not visualizing a room. Just know that the flame that is your heart actually radiates and penetrates darkness without sending any fire out, sending light out. Light happens. And so when you create the proper elements so that a flame can burn, that's what you're doing. You're setting the stage for that. Wick and flint and wax. And so coming and bringing your attention into your heart space, and there in your heart space, recognizing that in this specific situation with your pet, in this specific situation, actually with anyone that you share space with, you're not going to get the entire understanding ever. And so this is applicable and timeless in so many ways, this meditation. And so coming into your heart center and letting yourself know, I forgive myself for not understanding. allowing the feeling that comes from that statement, I forgive myself for not understanding, allowing that resonance to move throughout the cavity of your heart space, move throughout the chest clavicle, seeing how that reverberates throughout your body. It's so important to feel. And when your mind wanders on the grocery shopping list, or the oil that needs to be changed, or the timesheet that you failed to fill out, coming back into that saying. And it's not just willy-nilly saying it to the four winds, I forgive myself for not understanding. With authenticity as the currency with yourself in this moment. I forgive myself for not understanding. And feeling all of the facets of sensation, of mental conglomerates, feeling that in its fullness. And doing that for 5 minutes, whether your pet is sitting on your lap or across the room, being in the same space is very helpful. And so they may be sleeping, they may be playing, they may be sunbathing, they may not give a shit about you actually, but they will feel that message. And I firmly feel as if their instinctual nature assists us with our intuitive nature. And what's beautiful about them consistently being in the present moment, usually without judgment for oneself, or a lot of the walls and labyrinths that we set up for ourselves as humans, because we are gifted with consciousness and choice in a lot of ways, or that's all debatable, but for these purposes we'll go with that linguistics. We're given choice and consciousness, and so I feel as if it's beautiful and important to start and clean the stage before you set up the act. And so 5 minutes a day with that forgiveness meditation. And when you feel as if you have less judgment for yourself, less comparison to others, less pride, greed, hatred, delusion, whatever afflictions, bear down upon your heart, it's beautiful to be able to come into the twin technique and actually visualizing your pet in a state of joy, in a state of contentment, in a state that you adore seeing them in, and you feel genuine love and kindness for them. And so I love seeing Friend completely at play and unhinged without inhibitions. And so I take that imagery and I place it into my heart space. And when I have space in my heart, because I've given myself the gift of forgiveness, there I can visualize her as she is, in the state of loving kindness. And with that imagery, being able to be that flame and not send out love, you're not stretching your heart towards where your animal is sleeping or sitting or playing. You're keeping that imagery that evokes that sensation, that feeling, that mental state of love in your heart space, and then permeating that feeling of love. And when you lose your focus on the shopping list or the oil change or the timesheet, then you slowly but surely, with forgiveness for yourself for not understanding that your mind has wandered, bringing yourself back to that heart space where your pet always will be. So, forgiveness meditation and a different way to connect with your pet in a loving and kind way. Delicious. So, now we're going to move into the cards, which, I so appreciate you all just being open to this, because this is kind of different. Like, it's kind of out there. It's a little whimsical and a little strange, even for me. And you can ask anyone in my family, which I love them dearly. Most of them are 2,000 to 5,000 miles away from me. So I love that you all accept that I'm a rainbow sheep and a hermit. Nah, I love you guys. And so today, though, it's interesting being from Hawaii. I just want to touch on this. It's really interesting being from Hawaii and then talking about popoki. I never grew up with indoor pets. We always had goats and a cow and chickens and geese. And in Hawaii, the culture is very, very different. I didn't grow up with a lot of people having pets, okay? But I've always felt a connection with them in some way. Obviously, they're so sweet, they're so cuddly, like you just want to get up in their business. But in Hawaii in particular, I just want to make this disclaimer. Cats are intriguing because there are indigenous and endemic species that essentially that means that some species are found in other places of the world and they have their own unique species only in Hawaii. Or an endemic species is a species that literally only exists on one small island in one archipelago in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, which is enormous. So it's kind of rare, okay? Livestock, animal husbandry, and what have you, companion animals such as cats and dogs, that has dramatically changed the environment for these very unique species that actually never dealt with any kind of predators or poisons in their environment. So it's really interesting to connect with cats as an adult and realize that they are highly intelligent in so many ways, and it's just very different to have a relationship with cats when there isn't indigenous and endemic species around. So obviously this is for my cats on the mainland, or this is for my cats out in Hawaii with their pet parents that are super aware of not allowing your domesticated cat to just go outside and kill for fun. Okay, that's the sword suit of the tarot, the sky dwellers, as they call it in the Mystical Cats tarot deck. So, no judgment. Please forgive me if I misunderstood anything. That's my worldview. That's my conditioning. And so, nevertheless, I love cats. What I love so much is people being aware. And the light of awareness is priceless, especially in this day and age. So, the Tarot of Cats. This is by Bunny D. Super cute deck. And, well, so I have a feeling that there is someone out there who is dealing with something medical. They dished out a lot of dola from their kitty cat. Ooh, there's 2 cats. Excuse me. All right. Okay. So we just had these 3 cards all pop out at the same time, and we've got the 3 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, and the High Priestess. Yo, these 2 cats live a plush life. Probably a better life than I have. Dang. You probably some kind of exotic bred, marvelously spotted feline that has a very quiet life in reverence. Oh, not in reverence. They are revered. Excuse me. And, you know, it's amazing to see the 6 of Wands here because one of these 2 cats is the hot shot. Like, obviously runs the show. You know, almost arrogantly. If this sounds like your cats, let me know. And I don't know who truly the High Priestess is right now. Like, I'm thinking that there's a third party in this. I mean, maybe you're the pet parent, maybe you're the mom, and you're like your cats know this is your house. That's just not really like cats. So I'm guessing that one of y'all, someone out there has one hot shot, and then one that just wants to be a super snuggle buddy and just wants to connect all the time with their family, whether they're cuddling up on the high priestess or they're cuddling up, you know, with mom and mom, or dad and dad, or, you know, whatever combo is in your life. You know, that's lovely. So yeah, I would just love some insight, like, dear you, does this sound like you? It came through pretty clear that it had to do with an underlying issue that was not seen on the surface. I mean, I'm seeing pomegranates, and I just think about Persephone's descent into the underworld and the mother and the Empress, and her fight, Demeter's fight to welcome back Persephone and not taking no for an answer, even though everyone was like, she's gonna have an awesome life with Hades. And Demeter was like, I will kill everything if you don't give me Persephone back. So I'm seeing pomegranates. That's some big energy. Someone lost themselves in their illness, maybe. And that there is one ferocious pet parent that is not gonna give up until the clutches of illness releases their beloved companion. I mean, I hear you. You would move heaven and earth. If that's you, let me know. Okay? Guys, do you guys know any, like, fancy ways to shuffle tarot cards? I mean, like, this is cool and all, but I feel like I don't have little hands. Like, these are not little. Also, please, no one do any palm readings for me. Thank you. I just want to have some discernment with that. Ooh, yo. So this puppy's trying to show up. Two of Cups. Okay. So, I mean, maybe the pet parents are super in love. Maybe actually, this is what I think it is. Maybe the cat, the more submissive cat, is very much so bonded to our high priestess, Top Gun that runs the show. Very bonded, and sometimes love can be very lustful and naive. You know, so I mean, you want to create alchemy. That's the beauty of the two. I do look at the Two of Cups being the cups. You know, sometimes the chalice will have the water slosh around and not be able to keep it and hold it together because we're pretty enamored with the image of the person. And this is a cat. The person that we're with. I don't know, that's fun. But we're here to talk about illness. So, will you give us some clarity on that? Okay, here we go. Something juicy. Seven of Cups in reverse. We have options, and any option is a luxury, but I think we're just kind of overwhelmed with all the things that are going on. Maybe there's multiple ailments, maybe there's multiple diagnoses that are going on, and everyone's got a theory. My dad always used to say that, so bless my daddy. And you know, I just feel as if what is it that you need? Of course, we need clarity. We want to know what the heck is going on. So let's kind of narrow it down and bring in the sword suit, our Sky Cat clan, our swords of discernment, our no's and our yeses. Our I's are dotted, our T's are crossed in this plan. We know where we're going. We know what our North Star is. So, you know, really asking, wow, hot shit. Okay, that's the world. We get it. Everything is going to be seen. Everything's going to be more than okay. You're going to see that the hundreds, thousands of dollars that you may have been spending on your cat not only find resolution, but revolution within your life. This is a revolutionary trust fall that has been going on, and you have not abandoned your family member. And I'm feeling that this submissive cat that's in, diva and then not so diva, kitty cat, is going to realize the worth of their place in your family and recognize that they belong and they've always been accepted. And to me, there's a lot of cups here. I mean, it could be psychosomatic, could be totally self-inflicted. But that in itself. So, okay. The Mystical Cats Tarot deck by Linnea Weatherstone, incredible. So I feel like we should just for funsies, read up what the World card is and the cat's advice, the cat's meow. I mean, these people don't mess around, I've been reading the tarot for 12 years. I mean, I've got the death card tattooed on my body. It's enormous, mind you. But these people know what's up. So I'm not going to paraphrase this either. So everything is coming together for you now, and the goals you have longed for are within your reach. This is a time of completion. Thank God. When something has come to fruition and can be released with a sense of satisfaction. The world is conspiring in your favor to bring you everything you need for peace and fulfillment. That's lovely. But there is a quote by Robert Louis Stevenson, and it says, "The world is so full of a number of things. I'm sure we should all be as happy as kings or as cats." And so sometimes maybe it might be beautiful to remind this cat. Okay, here's another exercise we could do. So think about yourself as a cartoon. If y'all know me, you know that I'm just doing this on the regs. Nevertheless, visualize yourself, choose your player, choose your character, okay? If she looks like Chun-Li, whatever. But, so, visualize yourself as a cartoon in a comic strip and bringing a little comic book thinking bubble to the surface. And with these insecurities that is being seen, that potentially this is a psychosomatic illness that is occurring, and hence why it hasn't been totally clear, and there's a lot of gray areas with the diagnoses, is that these flippant ways of being come from a root source of not being totally okay with who they are. Dude, you're a cat. You're destined to be exalted. And always have everything that you need. And so coming into yourself and realizing, oh, okay, this is what my cat deserves. And with your cartoon self in your thought bubble, letting your cat know, I accept you as you are. I see you as you are. You're a cat. And the world is your oyster. And hopefully not your endangered Native Hawaiian finch. So, whatever message, very specific message. Obviously, it's a very specific message for someone, okay, in general. Letting them know in that thought bubble, we accept you as you are, or we also see that you rock, you obviously should be exalted, and so letting them know in that thought bubble, and then placing that thought bubble into their little noggin or into their heart. I go straight for the heart. That's how it rolls. But you might just land the thought bubble into a thought bubble above their head. That would really make sense. So, and see if you receive a thought bubble in return. I know, sounds kind of out there, but super fun. And journal about it, practice. It's amazing what kind of insight you can get. And who knows, maybe that illness may dissipate. I mean, let's see what's on the bottom of the deck before we wrap it up. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. This is a slow message that is sturdy. Totally has rhyme and reason, and it will make us feel at home in our bodies. When we receive this message, the Knight of Pentacles, in its upright position, has everything that he needs, every tool for the battlefield, and the resources are abundant. And he almost feels at home wherever he goes. And so for your cat, maybe also letting them know that this is home. Whatever happens, with your health or what have you, we will be by your side because you matter so much to us. Like, obviously, like, we place you on a pedestal. I don't know if in this person's house they have some kind of epic climbing shelf structure, but let them, like, this is a sky cat, this submissive cat as well. It's someone who likes to be up high, and so that's almost the body's way of trying to express to the mind and the heart of this cat that they are so loved. And even though your sister or your brother is pretty posh and bougie and unapproachable, and you are totally fangirling over them all the time, you also are pretty amazing. So that's your message for today. Gosh, it's great to sit down and be with you all again. I mean, if you have any topics that you would like to discuss about diet, whether it's food or brands, whether it's lifestyle, so there's a lot of mosquitoes where you live, so mosquito prevention, I mean, just like, that's great. This is super fun for me, so this is my first choice, is to talk about how to communicate with your animals so that you can live out your days together in a joyful way, because our pets are here for such a short period of time in comparison to our average lifespan. And so, I mean, if you're like me and you've got a heart dog or a heart cat or a heart bunny, you really want to be able to connect with them in the way that works for them. So what a gift our pets are. Anyways, my name is Hana Kikua. Y'all can call me Hana. This is Pet Friend Presents, presenting pet-friendly advice through the love languages of tarot, diet, and lifestyle. It was a pleasure to be with you all this evening. And until next time, be a good friend.